Hello, this is Dr. Rahul, and today I'm gonna doing SICS in a Gate 3 PPC. So for making the tunnel, I use Keratom 2.8 Keratom. I don't take super rectus forceps. I make a groove to hold the eyeball. Then I make a front incision with the help of Keratom. Then I use the Keratom slightly sliding method and enter the tunnel. I don't use crescent because crescent is does done the laminar dissection. So if there is a become superficial or deep entry, so you cannot control it. But in keratom you don't have this problem. If you have superficial deep entry, then it can be the direction can be changed with the keratom. So after making the tunnel and enlarging it by creating the side pockets, I go with the side port. So I take the side port since it is a left eye. So I take the side port and use puncturing the nasally, and it's become little enlarged. But after staining the anti-capsule with refined blue, I form the chamber with visco, and then I take the 26 gauze needle and I make the cystitome. What mistake I've done that the cystitome needle I made it more entirely, so I feel initially facing problem during the rexis. So when I was trying to aspirate the air bubble which was in the center, the visco was coming out, and more the visco was coming out. I was facing the problem, uh, s- but still I tried to make the rexis. I started a rexis from the temporal side, and I saw the rexis getting little extended. So I put a visco, judge the extension of the axis. Well, it is quite normal. It was little enlarged around 6 mm since it is SICS. It's not FECO. So with the help of the cystotome, I was making the axis, and I was noticing more. The axis was again a little bit extending inferiorly. So again put the visco, and again now doing the axis. Now it is looking a bit fine. So I have completed the axis by sharing interior metal, and then again filling the chamber with visco. I do the entry with the help of the same keratom. It's a triplanar entry, and I extended the entry, and after that fully extension of the entry, I do go for hydrodelineation since it's grade 3 PPC. So I did little hydrodissection and most of the hydrodelineation, and then I started rotate the nucleus, and it was rotating well nice again from the visco, from the AC with visco. Then I with the help of dialer I was rotating the nucleus. It was came in the AC, and as you can see, it's a beautiful three rings have formed because of hydrodelineation. I tried to follow up with visco, but it was not getting possible. So I used the Sinsky hook. I was vectis, sorry, uh, for prolapsing nucleus. Then after prolapsing the nucleus with the vectis, I was doing irrigation aspiration with the 23 gross Simcoe cannula. I was looking since the get PPC, so I was suspecting some PCR central PC rent. Uh, Here, what mistakes I've done? If I have pressed the lower lip, then this cortical metal could have been came out very easily. But instead of that, I was aspirating it. So I again put visco, pressing the lower lip, and I was observing the posterior capsule. Luckily, there was no central PC rent was there. So I started my irrigation aspiration with the 23 gauge Simcoe cannula. Now the problem which I was facing is that people has become suddenly small, and there was positive pressure was coming on. So it was creating a lot of problem uh, to explain the cortex. Though some cortex were coming out, but still it was not uh, satisfactory. It was not good. And so since I have done hydrodelineation, so lots and lots of cortex was there. So I then decided to go for adrenaline, and I waited for a few minutes. So the pupil was dilated, and then again I gave visco and it was well dilated. So again I started doing uh, cortical aspiration, and at that time the cortex was coming out, but still the positive pressure was lots of there was a lot of positive pressure was there, uh, because literally the Simcoe was the base of the Simcoe cannula was touching the PC. So I was getting fear that it will cause PC run, but luckily, thankfully, till now nothing has happened. So just like slowly I was aspirating the cortex, and uh, during I what again mistake I have done. Uh, if you are doing Simcoe aspiration, you should first aspirate in SICS. You should first aspirate the cortex in the side ports, below the side port, and below the that subincision. Then we can go for the side, but still cortical aspiration was done and PC was looking fine, everything was fine. Then I go for the lens implantation, but the assistant gave me the 5 mm PMA lens, as they said that the 6.5 was not there. So I go with 5 mm. I was classical method of inserting PMA lens was there, so I was dialing it, and because of the positive pressure it was again not coming to the back, but still I gave little visco and then rotated it, and uh, finally uh, I get confirmed myself that the IOL is in the bag. So yeah, it was quite easy, quite a difficult. I won't say easy, but a very difficult operation for me, procedure for me. And I did final wash of the AC, and final removal of the visco. Then I formed the AC, hydrated the side port, hydrated the side pockets of the main wound. Then I closed the case with the conjunctiva with simple cautery, and that's how it's got over. Thank you.